Okay. Hello, everyone. This is the Mgtow Cowboy. Greetings and salutations. I come to you guys again this evening, and I wanted to touch on something I was thinking about. Right away, I want to give a quick shout out to Mgtow. Mgtow, he made a comment in one of my previous videos, and it inspired me. It at least partially inspired me to make this video. He was talking about how, I can't remember what he said verbatim, but he was talking about how, if I had a woman, a girlfriend, a wife, they start to get real expensive. Their medical expenses start to get up there when they get older. And I had heard that before, and recently I was talking with another friend, and he was kind of saying the same thing. So I decided to look into it. I've heard rumblings, or I've heard rumors about that, so I decided to look into it, and it is true. And so I wanted to make a video about it. Hold on a second. Let me take a swig here. Swig of this here beer. Here we go. So I want to make the argument. The point of this video is to make two arguments. It's the same argument, but to make 2 points going in the same direction. The first point I want to make is that, yes, in fact, the science shows, the metrics show that men cost less to care for medically. Or you can say that oppositely, women cost more. Women cost a lot of money to provide health services to. Excuse me. And secondly, if that's true, and it is, then we should charge women more money in health insurance to cover this disparity, this differential. So here goes. So I did a little digging, and I found a couple of articles, and the best article that spoke about this issue I decided to highlight and talk about in this video. So there is a magazine called the National Review. You guys can look it up. It's called the National Review. The National Review is basically like it's a leading conservative magazine. They also have an online presence. They also have it's a magazine and a website, and it covers news, it covers politics, it covers current events, all that good stuff. I found this article, and it's by a gentleman by the name of Kevin Williamson. It was published on the 5th of May, 2017. And then I have some notes here. And then the article is titled, quote, "Why shouldn't women pay more for health insurance?" unquote. And then it goes into it. And I wrote down just a couple of highlights, and I wanted to make a quick video about it. Okay, so I read the whole article, and the article basically says women cost more money than men do. Women cost more money than men. If that's the case, and it is, why shouldn't women pay more than men? It's that simple. It's I'll say it again. Women cost more money than men do for medical expenses. If that's the case, if we can prove that, shouldn't we charge women more money? All right, so I read the entire article, and it talked about a couple of things. The first thing it talked about was something called the Obamacare, or colloquially we call it Obamacare. Legally, it's called I got it right here. Here it is. The Affordable Care Act, formerly known as the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, is what we now call Obamacare. Yeah, right. Okay, so the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. So I didn't know this. And again, I had heard this from a friend, and then just a couple days ago, I heard, I read a comment that I ended up pinning by Vention, where he was just talking about, women cost a lot of money women cost more money than men. And I looked it up, and it's totally true. So I researched it and I found out that the Affordable Care Act, it takes away, it prohibits, it makes it so that you can't. The Affordable Care Act, when it was enacted, it put in place pricing rules which prohibited charging women more money than men. So, it basically prohibited charging women higher premiums for healthcare than men. But if you think about it, women should be paying higher premiums because they cost more, right? Or at least that's, from my logical mind, that's what I thought. And again, I didn't know that. Again, increasingly as I've become Mgtow, I am realizing this, that the whole system is stacked against you. Like you're just nickel and dimed. You're nickel and dimed the whole way through, And this is just another example that I didn't know about, yesterday, but I know about it now. Yes, so according to the Affordable Care Act, or according to what we now call Obamacare, the pricing rules prohibit charging women higher healthcare premiums than men. But men don't cost as much to cover. So, again, if you run that logic through, basically women should be paying more than men. But, we just screw over men, right? And this is just another example of gynocentrism. Anyway, so that's basically it. Real quick, I wanted to read a quote. I actually have two quotes from the article, and they're real short, real quick. Okay, so this is the first quote. The argument for charging women higher premiums may not be persuasive to you, but it has some basis in reality. It has some basis in reality. The argument against doing so has no obvious basis in anything other than preference, unquote. So yeah, I read that and I totally agree with that. Like, if you're running strictly by the numbers, it makes sense to charge women more. And he uses the word preference. There is no, quote, there is no basis in anything other than preference. Basically what that means is, yeah, women do cost more money to take care of their health than men do. Why aren't we charging them more? Well, because we don't want to, which is another way of saying because the women want men to pick up the slack. And we shame men so much that they kind of just get bamboozled into paying more than their fair share. That's what that means. So again, I read that and, just my logical mind, basically men pay for women. And that pisses me off because I'm against that, frankly. And then the last quote I want to read is also from the article. Quote, "We all support evidence-based medicine. Why not support evidence-based health insurance too?" Unquote. And in my opinion, that's the crux of the article right there. That gets to the point right there. The leftists, the commies, the reds, the pinkos, the feminists, the postmodernists, socialists, all these whatever they want to call themselves. They claim that they follow science, right? They follow that science. Well, this is perfect science right here. When in fact, I can't remember. It gave a breakdown, but it said something like, over their lifetime, women cost over $100,000 more than men do. The average woman ends up needing $100,000 more in medical care than the average man does. That's real money, $100,000. If that's the case, and it is, why don't we charge women more money? Why don't we make women pitch in more into the kitty? And I don't know. I'm going long, but let me give you one more example. Like, I have not researched this yet, but I've heard it before. Apparently, women. So, if you want to talk about insurance, like car insurance. Change the subject to car insurance. When men are really young, let's say under 25, they are charged more than girls of the same age for insurance purposes, for car insurance. And why is that? That's because the insurance companies, they hire these actuary you call them scientists, these statisticians who use actuary science to figure out that, per mile driven, young men get into more accidents than women. And so what do? These insurance companies, they charge men more money. Well, what we find is after about the age of 25, the occurrence of incidences where accidents occur, they level off between men and women. And then afterwards, and increasingly, it's women who get into more accidents per mile driven. And that's after about 26 or 27. So basically what that means is, and I should also say that, but we don't charge women in their late 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and so on. We don't charge women after that point more money than we charge men, even though women get into more accidents. And that's provable if you look at the metrics. So I say to myself, these insurance companies recognize that men get into more accidents, and they charge them. The same actuary scientists, or I'll call them statisticians, they also recognize that women get into more accidents than men after about the age of 27. Why don't we charge women more if we can prove it? And again, it gets back to this that quote where he says, I got it right here, argument against doing so, it has no obvious basis in anything other than preference, and the word preference there really should be removed and replaced with the word gynocentrism. That's what it is. That's what it is. I never knew. I swear I never knew when I was 12, 20, 25, I don't know. But yeah, I've slowly come to realize, wow, there's this whole world constructed, there's this whole, it's like we're living in the Matrix. And the Matrix is gynocentrism. There's this whole, phony world constructed around us where we're taught like men are bad, but we pay more into the kitty than women do. Men are bad, but every house is made by a man. Men are bad and women are good, but women cost more money, and like, I don't know. I admit these are just ramblings, but it's just something I was thinking about, and I wanted to make a video about it. So I'm sorry, I'm going long. You guys, if you like the content, please like, please comment, please subscribe, please share, and you guys have a good rest of your day. All right, this is the Mgtow Cowboy. Mgtow up.